Sorry about the delay, and I welcome all of you to Kalalgoda English Medium Retreat. So this is the time for question and answer session. So if there are any written questions, I invite you to begin with the written questions.
Altogether, there are 4 written questions. One on meditation experience, the other on general questions.
Okay.
Then one Nissarana. I am actually quite new to meditation, and when I do meditation, it's all about my past and future. That's what will come to my mind. Still, I am trying to focus on my breath in and out. To avoid the past and future things that comes to my mind, I started thinking of 4 noble truths and Dhamma. Would it be a good thing for a beginner? And also, I confused the term of Yoniso Manasikaya. Really appreciate if you can give me a small clarification about Yoniso Manasikaya.
Yeah, actually, can you all hear me? Yeah. So actually, it is if you are going to think about 4 noble truths, it's again a kind of a good thing rather than thinking about the past and the future, because it is some Dhamma that we are going to contemplate, and it comes under the Dhamma Anusati, where we are thinking certain good qualities, certain characteristics of the Dhamma. But here we are trying to sort of quieten our mind, where it engages with either past or the future, and even this kind of contemplation, even about Dhamma, is in this sense creates some amount of thinking, some amount of preparation in the mind. So rather you can come back to some very direct experience, like your breath, like your rising and falling of the abdomen. If you are walking, the steps, the touching on the ground. So likewise, these simple steps, these simple methods actually help you to come back to the present moment. So these are the techniques that Buddha is talking in Satipatthana, where, for example, he says when you are sitting that you can be aware of the sitting posture, because you know that you are not standing, you are not lying down, you are not walking, but you are sitting. There are certain indicators, so there are certain characteristics telling you that you are sitting, you are not standing, you are not lying down, you are not walking. What are those characteristics? Those are not very difficult to understand either. So those are very simple characteristics, simple indicators telling you that you are sitting. So this is a very simple practice, so that we don't need to complicate either. So if you are going to contemplate on maybe some very sophisticated, very dogmatic kind of information, some philosophical thing, so it might crowd your mind. But this practice will simply even simplify your mind, calms down your mind, and takes you to the present moment. Present moment is extremely simple, and our mind does not like to stay in the simplicity. It does not like to stay in the present moment. It always wants to go to the past, go to the future, and to complex things, complicate things. So we are using these simple practices, simple methods, to take it back to the present moment. So Buddha is talking about this, what we call the Iriyapada Pabba, which comes in the Satipatthana, where he is talking about the 4 main postures. When you are sitting, be aware that you are sitting. When you are walking, be aware that you are walking. When you are lying down, just be aware that you are lying down. When you are standing, be aware that you are standing. So all these 4 postures has little changes or little information which contrast with the other one. So we have to be very well aware of those differences. How I distinctly know that I am sitting. Say for example, when you are sitting, your buttocks are touching the cushion, your legs are bent and they may be touching each other, your hands may be touching each other, you can even feel the upper body weight to your lower half of the body. So likewise, there are some indicators telling you that you are sitting. So this is one method that you can use to take yourself back to the present moment, again to avoid the past and the future. And again, there are certain natural processes going on in the mind, like breathing. As you're breathing in, your abdomen coming to the front. We call it as rising. And as you breathing out, it is going back, what we call as falling. So this rising and falling, if you can maintain your attention on this rising and falling, which is a very natural process happening in the body, without forced breathing, if you can simply be aware of this rising and falling, or even in breathing and in-breath and out-breath, so this helps you to come back to the present moment. And it would be difficult immediately for you to stay with this kind of a very simple, kind of equanimous object. So one method you can use is that you can use labeling, noting, where when you feel rising, when you can really feel rising, you can simply note it as rising. So it's kind of a verbalization mentally. So you are right, with the physical process, at the very point that you are knowing it, feeling it, you can mentally verbalize it as rising. It's like a confirmation. The physical process you are confirming with your mental energy. And when you are when the falling happens, you can simply confirm it as or label it as falling. Rising, falling, rising, falling. Likewise, you can do this labeling so that which actually helps you to come back to the present moment. Similarly, you can apply it to the in-breath and out-breath, at the in, out, or 1, 2, 1, 2. Likewise, you can use some kind of a simple technique in order to confirm that right now what you are experiencing is in-breath. Right now what you are experiencing is out-breath. So these are little examples that you can use, and again certain techniques that you can use, and this actually helps you to come back to the present moment. And Yoniso Manasikara also has some relationship with this mindfulness practice, because once you are mindful, your attention go down or go deeper, penetrating the object. This Yoniso Manasikara also has some kind of that kind of aspect where rather than staying on the surface, it also going to the deeper. Basically, the main idea of Yoniso Manasikara is that it is going to the source, going to the origin, rather than being on the surface level. Say when something happens, so we can see certain outside look. Say, for example, an accident has happened, for example. So you can see some injured people are there, some people are around and talking, and many things are there. So that is the surface information. But one with Yoniso Manasikara, going deeper, going after the causes, searching for the reasons, and going deeper and deeper, then only one will understand what are the exact reasons for this accident. Similarly, in ourselves also, when we are experiencing something, maybe a mental kind of a situation or even a physical discomfort or something like that, so still there are certain reasons causing that. So through Yoniso Manasikara, you are going to understand such very, very deeper layers or the very source of the matter. Yes.
Venerable Sir, very often mind runs riot, though I try hard, but can bring back immediately. How can I keep the mind in one-pointedness continuously?
So actually, you can't immediately do that. So please give some time for mind to play a little. Because it was like to play a little some time with you. So let him also enjoy a little bit. But time to time, come take it back to your own object. Definitely it will take time. So you have to have enough patience to do it. So without patience, definitely you can't continue. It's a matter of practicing. It's a matter of practicing again and again. When it is going out, at the beginning, suppose it is staying at the outside, thinking for about 10 minutes, for example. Doesn't matter. After 10 minutes, okay, you recall, oh, I am in Kalalgoda now. Now you take it back to the breath. Now, few breaths, now we are in Kalalgoda. So then after a while, again it will go. You again go back to your office or to your house or to your children or whoever. Again with them. Another 5 minutes there. Again you remember, oh, I am in Kalalgoda. You come back to Kalalgoda. Again you start. At that time, suppose your in-breath was happening. Just start with in-breath. So just forgive yourself. Just accept that this mind is like a monkey mind. It's always jumping from this and to that. So just forgiving yourself, just understanding how vulnerable this mind is, how jumping this mind is. It's all our understanding. It's all our realization. Everything is included. It is not that we are trying to keep our mind on one object and that is the only part of the meditation. This going out is also part and parcel of the meditation. So that also we are learning how distractive our minds are and how much we are living in the past, how much we are conditioned to live in the future. So that means these are all some information we are understanding about our own selves. It's also very helpful. Otherwise we never understand. We always live in an artificial world or someone else's world, or someone else is dictating us what to do and we are simply puppets of someone else's agenda. So this is how we are living. But right now we understand really who we are, really how our mind works. So then when you close your eyes, you will understand how difficult it is to keep it in just several breaths. So when this is going out, slowly take it back. Just forgive yourself. Slowly take it back. Again, a couple of breaths. Again it is going out. Again take it back. Like a beloved mother taming her only child. Like only child, she has only just one child. So we need to protect him. Something like that. So just keep going. So but with practice you will understand slowly that lost time. Previously, suppose it was 10 minutes, now it is reduced to 7 minutes. After a while, it will reduce to 6 minutes. After a while, it will reduce to 5 minutes. After a while, say 2 minutes. After a while, 1 minute. Likewise, this lost time will reduce slowly as you develop your mindfulness. Yeah. So these techniques, as I said before, there are several techniques. For a beginner, one very good technique is the walking meditation. So just don't take much burden to yourself thinking now I am doing meditation, I am here in the meditation retreat. All are giving you some pressure. So just leave them aside and just relax. And just go to the walking path and just walk for a minute. Just relax and just walk. And after a while you feel comfortable. You feel some good air coming from the outside, some silence is there, others are also walking and you feel comfortable. After you feeling comfortable, just check whether you can keep your attention on the touching sensations of your soles, of the foot. Say when left foot is touching, can I just keep my attention there? When my right foot is touching, can I keep my attention on right foot? Again on left foot, again on right foot. Each and every steps contributing a little bit of strength to your mindfulness. So this is how it develops. Slowly, day by day, week by week, you are strengthening the mindfulness.
Can you do walking meditation while wearing shoes or slippers?
Yeah, it is come back to earth. You don't need to. Why are you wearing slippers? Actually, I have recently seen a beautiful documentary. Someone has shared. I don't remember who actually. It was a kind of documentary done by some scientist or someone. He's telling it's a Western in US or somewhere. So typically in the West, due to climatic problems and all, they always wear shoes and socks and all these things. So they rarely touch the ground, the bare ground with their bare foot. But this scientist has found so many advantages in earthing yourself with the mother ground, mother earth. So just walking with barefooted is such a really new experience, and he has done so much research on it, and he has published it. Telling that, for example, there are certain points in your leg which are causing certain stimuli in the brain. You know, you might reflexology, you might have heard. So in the reflexology, so they have found that there are certain touching points in the leg. Each and every finger is corresponding to certain our faculties in the body. So when you stimulate certain say fingers, some points, so still it stimulates another sort of faculty in the body, kind of organ in the body. So all these are now you can see, I have seen certain advertisements when I was coming, foot massage and all these things. So you are paying a lot of money for these things. Now we are giving it free in Kalalgoda. So just remove the slippers, remove the shoes, just use the barefoot, and it will tell you that how wonderful, how experience it is. The problem with wearing shoes and wearing slippers in walking is that you won't get much of a difference, because it's the same place, the slippers that you are touching, and it's always artificial, rubber kind of thing, and it does not give much information for you. So, but when you do it in the ground, so it's always little changes are there. Certain areas are dry, certain areas are wet, certain areas are hot, some areas are say gross, rough, some are smooth. So all such little differences are there. For a beginner, this is very interesting. If for a beginner, if he is getting a very smooth, very same like passage, then not much difference he would experience. But for a beginner, having different experiences helps him to understand these sensations, because these differences will help you to understand the sensations as well as to sort of fine-tune your mindfulness, clear comprehension. So therefore, I totally recommend barefoot walking. Yes.
Is there an indicator to show a person has mastered the technique of meditation both for sitting and walking?
Indication. It's an indicator to show. Actually, we can explain it in different ways. I would say, it is not just through the sitting and walking that you can measure total progress. So those are like laboratory exercises that we do. So at the beginning, we need a special place. Now, say if you are doing some kind of research, so you need certain well-prepared area to do that. You need certain parameters to keep constant, certain other parameters you are changing, adjusting, and then make an observation. So likewise, you are preparing some kind of artificial environment to test it. So once you prepare that and once you get results, then it should be able to apply in the day-to-day life. Something like that here also. So we come here as a retreat. It's a little artificial. People are here, we can observe higher seated, and again you are cross-legged and sitting and closed environment, less sounds and your eyes are closed. So likewise, this is how we learn. Otherwise we can't, because if you go to a city or if you go to a marketplace to practice, then you can't. So we need this kind of artificial environment to practice. Best place is the forest actually. There you don't have much distractions. But as you develop yourself, and especially in Vipassana, your mind build up certain amount of capacity where you can withstand certain ups and downs of the life. And you are learning certain characteristics of the life. Say for example, how things are working, how your mind is working, and how impermanent things are, how unsatisfactory things are, and whether there are any certain control over things. So these are certain understanding, wisdom that you are gaining. And then that wisdom will spread, not only to sitting and walking. Now it is spreading throughout your life. So then it is not that meditation is just a retreat or just 1 hour sitting or something like that. From the very moment that you wake up until the moment that you go to sleep, you are aware of yourself, what is going on in the mind, what you are experiencing, and what is the impact of that experience to yourself. So all these things are kind of expanding and spreading about onto yourself, and then you are the meditation. It is not that meditation is a kind of an artificial thing or kind of a strange thing. Rather, it is yourself. It's your own experience. It's entirely a meditation. From the very moment you wake up till the moment you go to sleep, the whole day, whole time is you are observing, you are improving mindfulness, you are very watchful. Then actually the defilements starts to fade away, and you are learning how mind is working, and say you are overcoming defilements. Then there's a growth. Then there's a considerable growth, even that you can't measure daily. After practice, once you look back, you understand there are certain significant change has happened in your character. Then you can see the results are there in the practice. It may not, you can't observe that within a day, within 2 days or something like that. So after a considerable period of practice, once you look back, you will see a fair amount of change. Considerable change has happened to yourself. So this is how we can measure that the person has developed. It is not that how many hours that he can sit or how many retreats that he can practice. It is good that he has. Definitely, more and more you practice, more and more you are gaining something. And once you become Arahant, so then there is not that. So that's the question is asking. So how one can measure sitting, walking, everything successful? Yes.
Venerable Sir, in order to protect the reputation of our organizations, at times we are compelled to tell something but not the truth against our wish. Is this a great sin even though we do it with the least commitment?
Pure marketing. So you are asking whether it is proper to do marketing or not. So actually we have to be truthful. If you are exaggerating, it is not good. And we can understand as human beings, we all do mistakes, and sometimes even though we prepare ourselves to the 100%, to the maximum, still things go wrong. So that's the nature. We have to accept how much vulnerable these things are. Suppose we are trying our best, okay, we are arranging things on time, and we are giving the orders or the booking of everything, and things are coming. All of a sudden, rat comes and spoils the whole thing. So such things are there also. Or sometimes a person who is meditating start to snoring and all these things, sound, so all the silence has gone, and many things can happen. So that is the way it is. So it is not that we can have the perfect conditions. No sound, no mosquito, no ants, no rats, who else? No crows. Perfect vacuum-like condition, just be aware of breathing. Then it is very artificial. Then how are we going to grow? So these distractions tell us, right now I have a very fragile mindfulness. So my concentration is very fragile. Even the shutting of the door can break my mindfulness. Even a subtle squeezing of someone will break my mindfulness. So that indicates my own, in a way, kind of a weakness. So I still have to grow. Can I maintain my mindfulness even when other things are going wrong? Can I maintain kind of an undisturbed mind when things are falling apart? So this is how we have to do it. So then it is strengthening ourselves. So this is a spiritual journey. So if we are expecting a perfect conditions, where everything is smooth, everything happens to the 100%, so how are we going to strengthen the these spiritual qualities. So, what are the qualities that we are developing? Say, patience. When are we going to develop patience? Patience is developed only when we are encountering certain problematic issues, certain problematic situations. On such situations, on unbearable situations are there so that we can develop patience. Say someone is blaming you. Is it possible for me to still be patient without reacting? So, internally maybe burning, and is it possible to keep my mouth shut? Actually difficult. Actually this is what I think is proper vipassana. This has to be very practical. So we are trying our best to give the perfect conditions everywhere, but it has to be very practical. Once you gain something, so we should be able to practically use it. So even day-to-day life. So you may be a very good meditator here at Kalalgoda. Once you go to your home, when your kid is coming and bugging you, or your husband or wife and coming and telling you something, you immediately come out and start blaming or something like that. So, can you tell that is the proper meditation? So still we need to develop. So how we can tolerate others. So this tolerance, this patience. Actually, I can remember Achan Cham was telling very beautiful statement. So I also used to, and even now I'm time to time recollecting it. I constantly used to keep it as a motto. He's telling, of all the qualities we develop in our lives, patience, endurance is the most important. Patience, endurance is the most important. That's all. So these things, this kind of blissful states, kind of a very floating like experiences, these are like eating chocolate. You can't eat chocolate every day. Then we have to go to Dr. Aniruddha for diabetics. So that's something like that. So these are the time to time we can experience, but the kind of strength we are getting, the resilience that we are developing. So these are the real outcome, real measuring points that we can value a person whether he has that capacity. During Buddha's time, there's a beautiful situation that has happened. I just add that to this conversation. There is King Kosala once meet Buddha. Actually, King Kosala often come and meet Buddha. And on one occasion, then Buddha and King Kosala was talking. And at that time, certain ascetics are passing on their side. And King Kosala immediately get up and pay respect to those ascetics. And after doing that, he came back and reported Bhante and they are arahants. And then Buddha said, they are not arahants, and you are also not in a position to know who is arahant. And he said, yes, Bhante, they are not arahants. They are my spies. They are my spies, but I am paying respect so that to them, so that others will believe that they are arahants, but they are going to various tasks which I have allocated to spy to various regions, and now they are coming. And after they go home, they remove all these clothes, the ascetic, clothes, and they will get into the typical day-to-day life. They are not really arahants. And then Buddha says, how one can know? A typical layperson like you, this king, cannot know who is an arahant. So Buddha says that, certain indicators Buddha is telling, like one has to associate the person for a long time. And this person also has to be a very wise person to see the qualities in that person. And again, only when this, now suppose we are trying to, say for example, Buddha, we want to check how whether he is a real arahant or something like that, a real teacher. And so according to this measurement, we have to associate him for a long time. And again, we also have to be very intelligent to see the good qualities. What are the indicators of a real person, real arahant? So we should know those things in order to assure that, in order to assess him. So after that, again, Buddha is telling, only when he is going through real difficulties, how how he is behaving, how he is facing those real difficult situations, that indicates the maturity in him. So those are the certain real factors that we need to know. That will take us to the real developed kind of spirituality. So, and that is the long-term path which we all have to travel. Yeah. So that's all the written questions. Yes. Yeah. So you can come here.
Question. This person wanted to know about it.
Yes.
He's working.
Yes.
So he's working in an organization, must be doing marketing and must be very into lying about the product. Must be the bosses must be expecting him to lie about the product.
Yes.
So maybe about that.
Yes.
And whether it is right, whether he should do it.
Yeah. So actually, those are real problems. So actually nowadays it's all marketing and all this money and everything. So very difficult to maintain the very good quality precepts. So whether you can be 100% truthful, very difficult. So whenever we are telling something, whenever we are sort of explaining something, it can have a certain amount of truth as well as a certain amount of exaggeration. So we have to be honest to ourselves whether I am adding too much, or is it, say for example, just taking a simple example to explain. Say a certain product will last only for 6 months. If I am telling that it will last for 5 years, then it is obvious it is exaggeration. Maybe you can tell it may last 7 months if you really protect it. Then it will be exaggeration. Something like that. 7 months, just 1 month, so something like that. But so we have to understand whether I am putting too much. In order to get my increment, is I am putting too many things, so that I am passing the other marketeers and I am taking the higher share. So those are things that we need to look at our own mind. Is it really I am exaggerating, or is it really a